burn and brew with Coven true, and glory shall be thine.
Hey friends, it's Jasmine, and I hope that you all are doing well. If you are a returning subscriber, hey, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming back and supporting me and this channel. If you are a new viewer, hi, my name is Jasmine. Nice to meet you. I am a practicing witch, and I talk about it here on the internet. So if all things witchcraft is kind of your thing, maybe stick around, check out some of my other videos here on the channel. I hope that the audio in this will be okay. I'm currently getting over a little bit of a seasonal cold, so if I sound a little froggy or funny, that would be why. I'm doing much better now. In today's video, I wanted to do like another haul for you guys. I know a lot of you really enjoy these style of videos, and I love doing hauls and I love watching hauls. I don't know what it is about haul videos, but they're fun. So I have a bunch of goodies that I'm gonna show you that I've recently collected. Most of the stuff in this is stuff that I have personally purchased with my own money, if you care to know. Some of the stuff in here is stuff that I have been sent to talk about and review. Nothing in this do I earn any kind of commission on, so this is just me sharing my honest thoughts, feelings, and opinions about what I'm about to share with you. Okay, so the first thing is the Seasons of the Witch Lammas Oracle. I recently got this. I wanted to get it before the first harvest, but unfortunately it came like a week or so late. However, that's okay. I did purchase this with my own money. I ordered this from Amazon. And I want to say I spent maybe like $16 or $17 on this, which I feel like is fairly affordable for an oracle deck. This is a part of a whole Seasons of the Witch collection, and I've kind of collected most of them. They're all centered around the 8 Sabbats of the Wheel of the Year, which, for myself, as a traditional American folkloric witch, the Wheel of the Year is definitely part of my practice. It might not necessarily look like or reflect the sort of common Wheel of the Year that we often see in media or that's popularized, but the essence of working with the cardinal directions, the cross-quarter directions, and the major seasons like winter, spring, summer, and fall, as well as the cross-quarter periods, like fall shifting into winter and what have you, definitely still play a part of my practice. So I do like using these Seasons of the Witch Oracle. I will say I don't often find myself using these oracle cards necessarily for like prophecy and divination in a revealing the future and the possible threads kind of way. More so, I just like using these as daily draws or as altar representation on my sabbatic altar. My sabbatic altar is a sort of sacred space that I've carved out in my living room specifically for turning the wheel and connecting with the land around me and reflecting that within that space. So I think that this complements that really, really well. I do have all 3 now of the harvest oracles. I have the Lammas, the Mabon, and the Samhain. So I might do like a harvest oracle deck sort of review on all 3 of those. If you're interested in that, let me know. This is what the box looks like. And this is the back of the box. These are what the cards look like. I think they're really pretty. They all have this like gilded sort of edging. Love that. You like kind of a quick show. This is what some of the cards look like as far as the art style, which is kind of carried over in all of them. So like I said, if you want a flip through, I'm happy to do that. But I just kind of wanted to show you sort of the art style of the cards in case you weren't familiar. Do you use the Seasons of the Witch Oracle at all? I'd love to know. This next one is a book, and that would be The Witching Way of Hollow Hill, Grimoire of the Folk Who Dwell Below the Mound. And this is by Robert Artisan. Also purchased this book on Amazon. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for it. I think I actually got a used copy from Amazon, and I want to say I spent like maybe $14 or $15. I do believe this is the second edition. And also, I know that we all feel a type of way about Amazon, so use that as you will. Do what you need to do that's best for you. Amazon does have a used books section, so anytime that you're looking for books on Amazon, I would highly recommend just taking a moment to kind of scroll down and see if that book you can get used in good or fair condition, because sometimes you can get used books for like just a couple of dollars and you can save some money that way. So check that out. Robin Artisan is a well-renowned witch within the sort of traditional witchcraft environment. And this particular book, I have seen some peers of mine and some other content creators talking about. So I wanted to go ahead and get a copy of this. I've seen some of other works by Robin, and I'm familiar with his name. However, I've never really dived super deep into really any of his work, if I'm being honest. I just knew that he was fairly well renowned. So I picked up a copy of this. I have mostly finished this. This is actually a book that I've put down that I've decided that I'm just not going to finish. I've read probably, I would say, 2/3 of it. And there are bits in this book that I really enjoy. There are aspects that really feel like that sort of traditional witchcraft vibe. I don't know how else to explain it. Like when I feel the vibe, I feel the vibe. It makes my witch blood quicken. It makes the hairs on the back of my neck sort of like stand up. It's just a particular vibe, and maybe some of you can relate to like what I'm talking about. There are some other aspects of this particular book that just did not vibe with me at all, honestly. If you're interested in me doing a more full review on this book, I'm happy to do that. But yeah, this is another book that I recently got. I will probably keep this within my library. I don't think I'll donate it just because Robin Artisan and a lot of his work is so heavily influential. I would like to have a copy for myself in my library. I'm not disappointed that I got this book, but there are some aspects of this that feel a little bit dog whistly, a little bit dated, a little bit conservative, and a little bit problematic. And that is 100% my own opinion. And as traditional witches, we have all types of views within our community that I don't have to support, endorse, or condone. So if you want more of my thoughts on this, let me know. The next book that I picked up, and this is another one that I personally purchased myself. I got this from Amazon. Again, with the used books on Amazon, I think I paid like $5 for this. And that would be The Witch's Compass by Ian Chambers. I feel like Ian Chambers is another sort of recognizable name within the traditional witchcraft sort of environment. I've seen this book kind of go around a lot of the tradcraft spaces that I'm in. I've personally not read this. I was going to start this book and work on it when I was on a road trip, but things kind of got away from me. So this is currently at the top of my TBR pile. If you would like me to do a review of The Witch's Compass, please let me know. This book originally retails for like $17.99, and it is published by Llewellyn. I'll read you a little bit about what the back of the book says. Explore the compass of the 8 winds, a magical circle at the heart of traditional witchcraft. More than a tool for protection or raising power, this framework provides the ritual means to traverse the worlds and a mythic landscape that can be accessed at any point in time and space. Traditional witch Ian Chambers teaches how the witch's compass represents an entire worldview, a cosmological map, a method for magic and revelation. He helps you develop your own compass and use it for divination, spirit work, practical sorcery. This book shows you the world through the lens of your witch compass and reveals the many realms and spirits available to you. So I thought that sounded awesome. I think that this sounds like a great foundational entry level sort of trad witch text to read. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Have you read it? Let me know what you think of it if you have. And again, if you'd like me to do like a deeper review of this book here on the channel, let me know. Next book that I have here, I actually got this book from Half Price Books. I don't know if you have a Half Price Books in your area or not, but basically Half Price Books is where you can take your old books and essentially sell them. And so they sell used books, usually at half price. Sometimes though, that's not always the case. Okay. So if you go there and you see a book, definitely like search it up on Google real quick on your phone and see how much it retails for, because sometimes half price books be doing the most. Is a hardcover copy, which I'm excited about because who doesn't love a hardcover for a little book art, if you will. This is the Book of Seances by Claire Goodchild, a guide to divination and speaking to spirits. I thought that the cover of this book was particularly stunning. I know that we shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but also we all do. And look at how gorgeous this is. At Half Price Books, this book was sold for $12.99. I think that's fairly accessible, especially for a hardcover copy with full color illustrations. It's a fairly good size book as well. I have actually finished this book, so if you'd like me to do a review of it, I'm happy to do so. The quick and short of this is I purchased this because as I'm currently filming this, we are sort of just crossing the first harvest, and the autumn tide is a season where I spend time really connecting with the mighty dead and the beloved dead, the witches who have come before us, both historically and folklorically, but also my literal ancestors and bloodline. And spirit work, working with the dead in various forms, is a part of my practice that's relevant to this time of year. So I picked this book up with the intention of it sort of just pouring into that sort of work. Yeah, the book is pretty. I have thoughts about it. If you want to hear more, let me know. The next book is another book that I purchased with my own money, and this would be the Spiral Castle Grimoire. This is by Asteria Books, and it's the Grimoire project produced by Lorelei Black. First of all, can we appreciate the cover? The Spiral Castle Grimoire, Asteria Books Grimoire Project. The Asteria Books Grimoire Project was first launched in 2012 with the release of 100 individual pages of witchcraft lore, ritual, and wisdom. Since then, Lorelei Black has been adding to this corpus of esoteric knowledge, sharing deeply from both research and experience as an herbalist and witch, all adorned in the project's classic woodcut styling. This grimoire is specific to the American folkloric traditional witchcraft practice as embodied by the Spiral Castle tradition. Lorelei Black, co-founder of the tradition, lovingly wrote and compiled all of the pieces in this collection as a trad-specific, meaning American traditional folkloric witchcraft, specifically more so the Spiral Castle, supplement to the Grimoire Project's Witch's Core Grimoire. I purchased this because I am currently a third-year student in the Red Thread Academy. The Red Thread Academy is an online academy for American folkloric traditional witches, and a lot of these pages are pages actually from the Grimoire from year 1, 2, and 3 that are all kind of compiled in one book. Also, I wanted to support Lorelei and all of the work that she puts out. I thought that this would be really nice to have in case I wanted to reference a specific Book of Shadow page from our tradition. I wouldn't necessarily have to pull out one of the actual course manuals from year 1, 2, or 3, and I could just pull this out. This book is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm familiar with a lot of the contents already from working my way through the Red Thread Academy. There's a lot of really good material in here. I would highly recommend checking this out if you are interested in American traditional folkloric witchcraft. Check out the Academy. I'll leave a link down below. It's just gorgeous. I want to say that I spent maybe like $25 on this. I can't exactly remember, but I feel like for everything that is put in here, that's fairly accessible as well. If you'd like me to do a deeper review of this, let me know. Next book I was sent, so I did not necessarily pay for it from my own pocket. It's from Pagan Portals, Nine's a Charm. And this will actually be the second book from Pagan Portals that I've read. I read one fairly recently from Morgan Daimler about Celtic fairies in North America, and I did a full review of that. Really lovely. The Pagan Portals books are basically short, quick, nitty-gritty guides to a topic. Typically, just maybe 100 pages, give or take. They're not very large. And I really enjoyed the last one that I read. This one is from Martha Gray, and it's Herbs of the Anglo-Saxon Healing Poem. Again, that's Nine's a Charm. Looks like this book retails for around $12. Some of the Pagan Portal books, because they are a little bit smaller, I know it can feel like they're priced a little bit higher, but I do think based off the one book that I've read from Morgan, there's so much information packed in there that it's well worth it. I am currently reading this now, so if you're interested in me doing a more in-depth review of this book, comment down below and let me know. I'm going to read you also a little bit of the back of the book here. So, Nine's a Charm explores the world of extraordinary properties of plants that are believed to be the ingredients for the Galder healing charm. Even today, their influence extends beyond culinary use and into the world of magic and medicine, a world the ancient peoples of the past knew much better than ourselves. While modern medicine is only beginning to unlock the medicinal value, some still perform practices intuitively connected to the mystical and magical properties. While this book concentrates on the value of herbs themselves, Shawnee Oates' scholarly introduction to the historical origins and practices of the charm itself will give a more rounded view of the work that still fascinates scholars today, mostly due to the inability to accurately translate the whole text, where words and phrases are lost to the past or disguised for those who are uninitiated in the magical healing arts. I was pretty excited about this because Shawnee Oates also contributed to this. Since then, I have thoughts and feelings about that. So if you want more, comment down below, let me know. This next book I also thrifted from Half Price Books. This is a witch's guide to fairy folk, how to work with the elemental world, including a complete dictionary of fairies by Adane McCoy. Like I said, I got this from Half Price Books. I can't remember. Well, I have the receipt right here. Let me look. Okay, it looks like I paid around $10.99 for this, and it looks like it usually retails for $14.95. Adane McCoy is one of those names that I'm kind of familiar with because early in my sort of more formalized witchcraft interest when I was in high school and in my early 20s, I had quite a few of Adane McCoy's books. I never realized that she actually lived in my area until she passed away, unfortunately. And I know that since then, a lot of her books have sort of been picked at, and some of the historical information is viewed as wildly inaccurate. And there's also a lot of aspects of Adane McCoy's work that are entirely UPG that are not necessarily clearly defined as UPG, but yet just kind of put out as historical fact. And that is a problem. But I purchased this because the fairy folk in general is an interest of mine, and Adane McCoy, again, kind of like Robin Artisan, kind of like other names, is just one that I want to have on my shelf. This book is a book that I have skimmed through. I probably will not be doing a full review of this book. A lot of it, I'm going to be so honest and candid here, just felt very generic. There wasn't a whole lot that I really got from this. This may even be one that I send back to Half Price Books. It's fun, it's cute, it's very fluffy. There's not a whole lot of substance for me here. Last and final book in this, I also purchased from Half Price Books. I spent $14.99 on this. I don't know exactly how much it retails for. But it's a hardcover copy, and it's The Diary of a Drug Fiend and Other Works by Aleister Crowley. I know that Aleister Crowley is controversial. I do not seek to defend Aleister Crowley in any way, shape, or form. I am personally not a Thelemite myself. I am an initiate of American traditional folkloric witchcraft, and Thelema definitely has some influences in our tradition. So I thought that the cover of this was really pretty. Also, just like kind of like a funny coffee table book to have because it is so controversial. I have not read any of this at all, by the way. I solely purchased this because I thought the book was pretty. It's a hardcover. And Aleister Crowley, another one of those names that I think is just kind of worth having on my shelf. Love him, leave him, like him, whatever. So yeah, I haven't read any of this though. If you have read any of this, please let me know what you think. I don't necessarily know that I'll do a review of this book here on my channel, but I guess maybe if enough of you really want my thoughts on this, I might. So check this out, I guess, if you are interested. Right, that is going to conclude my latest sort of harvest haul of Oracle decks and books. I feel like my TBR list is ever growing. If you have any book recommendations for me that you would like me to check out, or deck reviews, what have you, feel free to leave those down below and I will look into that. If you are a writer or a creator yourself and you'd like me to review your work, reach out to me on Instagram, send me an email. I'm sure we can figure something out. I'm open to that. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like this video if you like it. And if you're not already subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help support the continuation of this work. So anyways, until next time, blessed be, and I will see you all in hell. Bye.
Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road. Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road. Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road. Circle sewn with fate, unlock thy hidden